All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, January the 4th, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, host the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show as always. Appreciate you all tuning in. It's game day in the capital city. We got a lot to get into here on a Tuesday. I want to hear from you. A lot going on right now. Of course, again, game day for Gamecocks men's basketball. Also, South Carolina football, the momentum keeps on going as the defensive pieces, the dominoes continue to fall for Shane Beamer and, more importantly, Clayton White, as guys are announcing left and right that they'll return in 2022 for South Carolina football. But again, of course, this is the Daily Crow. I want to hear from you, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. You can also comment your questions, of course, whether you're tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever it might be. Also in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure that your questions are answered there, because we do get a lot of questions. So I want to make sure that we get to all of them. I see Travi, Andrew the Textbook, Jeff Sweat, Brennan M., Ori, Todd Smith, Noah Johns, Brian Dean, Carolina Titan. What's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in again. It's a great day to have a day and read the hat. It feels good to be good on a Tuesday. Again, guys, a lot to get into. Before we do, though, I want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, not just a number. You're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys, they're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it might be, the last thing that you should be dealing with, worried about, is dealing with paperwork, dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you. Guys, they use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, guys, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, that's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you guys. Again, a lot to get into. It is game day. Gamecocks taking on the 9th-ranked Auburn Tigers, by the way, tonight at CLA. By the way, really quick shout out, because I know he's watching. Shout out to my little brother. The helmet has been a huge hit here on the Daily Crow, and it looks absolutely awesome there in the background. So thank you, my brother. Thank you. Looks incredible. Anyways, want to hear from you taking your questions. Cody Gaskins, what's going on, my guy? David Lyons Jr. says Van Bell and Brown at wide receiver with Stogner and Jenkins at tight. Got some weapons. All right, let's jump to the phone lines. Here we go. Skyland, I'm a little surprised to hear from you. I thought you told me yesterday I wasn't going to hear from you for about a month or so. What's going on?
I wanted to talk some football.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a lot of momentum right now, my man. What's up?
Oh, dude, I'm really happy with everybody coming back, for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more veterans, the more leadership. We will definitely have more leadership on the team next year.
Well, yeah, sure. And I mean, you talk about leadership, you talk about depth, and hey, it's also fun when guys come back on a defense that was ranked as highly as they were and was as improved and as good as they were. So I mean, it feels a little better, right? If the defense would have been terrible and guys are coming back, you're like, oh yay, thanks for coming back, appreciate it. But with the strides and improvements we made under Clayton White, and you think just how much better can certain guys? I thought Brad Johnson was a dude who benefited greatly from a new defensive staff. I thought Jordan Strawn came on at the end of the season. I didn't even realize he had 6 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. He was actually quietly had a pretty good year. Zach Pickens, I think he's got a lot left in the tank there as well. And R.J. Roderick, who I thought improved a ton this year in a Clayton White and Torian Gray. So, yeah, you're getting guys back, man, that made huge strides, I think, on your defense. And, it's exciting because, again, that defense performed really well. And what can they do under another year of his tutelage? So, yeah, I think it just goes to show, man. Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it speaks volumes to what Beamer's building, and guys want to be a part of it. And, listen, it makes sense, right? I mean, there aren't many that have come out that have shocked me because, if you're not a no doubt, no brainer draft guy, but, these are guys that could have tried their hand, or, the transfer portal is such a prevalent thing right now. I think it speaks volumes to Beamer has built a culture and a program that, again, he's made it fun to play football at South Carolina. So, yeah, great to see those guys coming back.
I kind of feel like we're going to be a more complete team this year than we were like this coming year than we were this previous year. Shea Beamer's year one.
Right.
I'm just trying to if you just think about it, like you got Mo Kaba, that's actually was a playmaker when he played for the Gamecocks in the linebacker corps. You have Sherrod Green coming back healthy. I mean, you're going to have a good D-line. You're going to have a veteran safety back there. You're going to have Darius Rush that really was locked down, that did a damn good job out there this year.
Yeah, Darius was huge strides for Darius Rush, man. I mean, I'll be totally honest. I didn't see Darius Rush ever being a contributor for South Carolina, a guy that couldn't find a position. And, I mean, he just, the entire secondary, man. I mean, we could, that's – I don't know that he's released it yet. I went on last night. I'll tell you guys, I went on last night to College Football Uncensored, that podcast with Chris Marler and the guys from Saturday Down South. But either way, went on there, and they asked me, like, my biggest takeaway from the season and which coaches stood out. We love to talk offense. We love to talk Satterfield and what happened, what didn't happen, what have you. But, God, like, we should really spend more time talking Clayton White and Torian Gray, man, because, I mean, a secondary that gave up 200. Yeah, a secondary that gave up 260 yards per game in 2020. And I understand 2020 was a weird year, whatever. With players like J.C. Horn, Israel Mukuamu, John Dixon, Jamie Robinson, who all departed, you gave up 260 yards per game. Not only did you improve without those guys, not only did you improve, you finished in the top 10 nationally in pass defense.
You did more with less.
If you would have told me the Gamecocks would have been top 10 nationally, I just would have laughed in your face. I would have laughed in your face. So
the thing I think the difference between Clayton White and Will Muschamp stuff is the scheme was just too complicated. Like Clayton White, I think Andre Roderick told us that it was somebody on the defensive court told us the scheme was more free for Clayton White. You was able to do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. It was easy. It was simple. But Muschamp, you had to do a lot of thinking that slowed you down. It was too complicated for the guys.
Let athletes be athletes. Let athletes go make plays.
All right. Okay. My question to you is, I want to answer the questions. I want to ask you a question. I want to answer. I'll let you answer it.
Right.
Okay. Marshawn, okay, I'm nervous with the running back room right now. You lost White and Harris. Obviously, you're going to have two speedsters with Juju and Lloyd. Now, I know Lloyd played a little scared this year with his knee, of course. I mean, that's everybody. You tore your ACL, you come back for it. You're going to play scared. A few games he showed some flashes. Who do you think is going to be the RB1, and who do you think needs to step up the most in the running back room?
Who's going to?
I want to say it's Marshawn.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say it's Marshawn. With the way it's looking, we're getting rid of the Hardesty, and Coach Atkins is stepping down for his health issues.
Yeah.
Just the way it's looking right now, I'm just curious to see if we do get Jay Graham back, which people are talking and predicting that Jay Graham is coming back. How much improvement will we have in the running back room with Jay Graham. Because if you think about it, Jay Graham coached some of the best running backs at South Carolina. Kenny Miles, he came in and coached Kenny Miles, turned him into not a star player, but, Kenny Miles was not good until Jay Graham came, or even decent. He caught Flattermore, Mike Davis, Brandon Wiles. He coached some of the better Gamecock running backs. If he comes here, do you think you see an improvement with the two running backs? And if so,
I think you do. I could see Marshawn Lloyd taking a huge step. I don't think people listen. Did Marshawn Lloyd meet the expectations I had for him this year? Absolutely not. But I don't think maybe we didn't give enough credit to he was coming off an ACL tear, and that first year, I know he kind of hyped everybody up, saying I'm gonna put on a show, I'm back. But like realistically, the biggest thing for an athlete when you go through an injury like that, and I was fortunate enough I didn't have to go through an injury like that, but I know guys that did. Biggest thing is trusting it again, and trusting to plant that leg and make that cut and explode, and your explosiveness just isn't going to be there. So,
because I've heard game to game, day to day. Some days in practice he'll do good, and some days he didn't practice because he didn't trust his leg. He was scared, or it wasn't feeling right to him. So I kind of feel like that just, through it during the season, because it is a mind thing, and the mind controls a lot of things. And if you can't beat your mind, it's going to definitely mess with you.
Right. So I mean, it's all about trusting it again. I think he'll make a surge. I mean, I think right now though, unless we're not at practice every day, but man, Juju McDowell I think certainly made a case for him being RB1. If he can keep his head on straight and stay out of the doghouse, I think that's the biggest reason why. That, and also Zaquandre White surging at the end of the year, but. I think the future of the running back position is bright. I think you do. Whether do you depend on Rashad Amos to step up, who I thought looked good. I thought he looked good in 2020 when he got his opportunity, but was just buried on the depth chart. I wouldn't be surprised if they added one more guy. It wouldn't hurt for sure, but you need Marshawn Lloyd to pan out. You need Marshawn Lloyd to pan out. Bottom line, you do. Again, I've said it before. I've said it before. You don't sign enough 5-stars at South Carolina for those guys to not pan out. He needs to pan out. Bottom line, he needs to be the guy you thought he was going to be on the recruiting trail.
None of our 5-star players stick out to me. When I see a 5-star player, I think of Javion Clowney or Gilmore or Marcus Lattimore. None of them guys to me, those 3 guys I just named, came in and had immediate impact as a freshman. Mm-hmm. I feel like our 5-star guys like Jordan Burch, Zach Pickens, Marshawn Lloyd, they're underachieving what a 5-star truly is. Or as it is now, is what 5-stars do. Does it take 3 years to 5-stars to shine? I don't think so. Bama gets 5-stars. Georgia gets 5-stars. They show out as a freshman. Why we can't get 5-stars to immediate impact the program?
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well, again, those guys were a little bit of a victim of underdevelopment, for sure. But, hey, new era, like I said, new era. I'm excited to see what they can get out of these guys. And, I understand the frustration comes from a guy like Jordan Burch really not hardly making an impact during his short time here. But again, maybe, just maybe, we can develop those guys in a more positive trajectory. But I think the future of the running back position is bright. I think we're fine there.
Yeah. To answer your question, you posted on social media the other day. Who are you more excited to see? Probably more excited for football next year than any other sport coming.
You're saying what you're most excited about in 2022?
Because you remember you posted that status. You said, "What are you looking forward to more in 20?"
Yeah.
I would say football right now. How can you not be more excited towards football?
I think everybody's drunk off football right now, which is great. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, everybody is. I was joking with a buddy last night. I was like, we're going to talk on the Daily Crow tomorrow, and it's literally game day for basketball, and I guarantee you the entire conversation's around football. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Football is king, and when you win,
to the Fighting Franks tonight.
Yeah, top 10. Top 10 matchup. Auburn's, like I said, Auburn's a good team, and I picked Auburn to win, but we're gonna find out a lot tonight, man. Again, I think you took care of your business in non-conference, and you did your thing. You had a solid non-con, but this is where the men separate from the boys here, man. Conference play and all the ones on your home floor, man, they're really important because we all know how tough it is to go on the road and win. So,
don't get too excited because it is the Gamecock way for the Gamecocks to come out tonight and beat a top 10 team and turn around and lose to a nobody.
Yep. I appreciate you reminding me, Allen. I appreciate you reminding me. I hadn't forgotten quite yet.
All right. Well, enjoy the game tonight. Definitely going to be trying to check the scores and stuff.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'm
so
definitely
it
more
should be a good
excited for
time.
football.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Definitely more excited for football.
We got a lot of reasons to be excited. We got a lot of reasons to be excited. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, have a good week.
Skyland, I appreciate it, man. Take care. Good stuff. Taking your questions, comments, calls, guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, a couple of quick updates really, really quickly I want to dive into. First things first, a lot of you I know are waiting on koozies. Those will be going out today. I probably got about 12 to 15 orders that were ordered between December 20th and now, basically. The post office that I used to ship these was actually closed like the entire holiday season. They're reopening today. So I will be getting all those koozies shipped out today. They ship and deliver pretty quickly. So just letting you guys know what the deal is with that. If you've ordered koozies and you're waiting on them, they're getting shipped out today. So just letting you know. Also, I do want to share some very exciting news with you all. Start of a new year, big things happening in 2022, and this is the first of many. Which off on that. I'll hold off. We'll jump to the phone lines here.
Will from Dirty Myrtle.
Will, what's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I was wondering, I know we didn't get the Cal and Keddies going to Arizona. Did you hear anything else? Is there any other rumors or anything about other wide receivers we might be going after in transfer portal?
I haven't heard anything concrete, man. I'll be honest, there's so many players in the portal. I mean, just who knows, man. I think everybody that's out there could be a fit. I mean, if they want to come catch passes from Spencer Rattler, I think they'd be a fit for us. I mean, the Cowling thing, I mean, listen, the dude's got a kid in Arizona. I'm not going to – I mean, It is what it is. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? So, but I think there's plenty of options. I think there's certainly plenty of options out there. And, I will be curious to see how many guys we add. I mean, again, the portal's ever changing. I mean, God, just yesterday we saw Caleb Williams and, Dylan Gabriel went to OU. I mean, it's just changing on a daily basis. So I know that Beamer and company are working behind the scenes, and we're so anxious to see it happen. But, yeah, I think we'll add the guys that we need to, and certainly I would expect a few of those to be wide receivers. But, no, I haven't heard anything concrete on we're specifically targeting this guy or that guy or what have you. So.
Yeah. I mean, and I saw this morning something about Van that he's really leaning towards coming back, which is good. But just so like we might hopefully could maybe add one or two more.
Oh, I agree.
For Rattler in the wide receiver department. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you'd be, if there's guys out there and they're expressing interest, and again, now that you've got Spencer Rattler, I mean, who doesn't want to come catch passes from that guy? Because if you think about it from a receiver standpoint, it's like, well, his obviously number one goal and aspiration, and most likely what's going to happen if things go according to plan, is he's going to go to the league. So I'm trying to also go to the league. So it will probably be my best interest to go catch passes from him, and it's an SEC school. So, I mean, we have a lot to sell, I think. I think we have a lot to offer a wide receiver in the portal. So, yeah, I mean, we're not done, man. It's with the portal and the way it's changing and guys are entering left and right day after day, I mean, I think certainly we're not done. Like I said, I think we'll add 4 or 5 more guys, and I would expect a few of those to certainly be pass catchers.
But it is exciting right now just to see the energy and how everybody's losing people and everybody's coming back to us, and it's just a vibe right now that it's great. By the way, I got my my Rattler merch on right now at work, representing.
Love to hear that, man.
Hoodie.
I love to hear that. Appreciate that.
So, yeah, brother. Anyway, Happy New Year, man. I'll keep listening.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. I appreciate you. Take care for him. 843-790-3377. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Appreciate you guys, again, that have really, rocked with the Rattler merch, and I'm very proud of how that turned out. And, I actually had a buddy of mine like 2 days ago. He texted me. He's like, yeah, man, just to let you know, I'm up here in Greenville at the gym, and somebody's got a QB1 shirt on. So the brand spreads. It spreads, as John Rothstein likes to say. Okay, back to what I was going to tell you, by the way, because I really do want to share this news with you. again, big things happening in 2022, and this is the first of many. Long story short, Carolina Ale House, as you all know, we did the watch parties over football season all across the state of South Carolina. And I would say, at least, and they would agree, I believe, that those were a massive success. And I know they do agree because I followed up with them, and they got back with me today, said they were, extremely impressed with everything, thought it was a fantastic partnership. Everything went so well. So we are sending over a new proposal today, and they are interested in, and we're about 97% of the way, I'd say, there in partnering up for watch parties from their locations across the state for spring sports. So I know that basketball and baseball night may not have quite as big a draw, but who doesn't want an excuse to go out and watch the Gamecocks no matter what the sport is? So again, I want to say thank you to you all, especially those who came out to those watch parties, because without you guys coming out and showing love and support and, drinking beer and eating wings and eating food and hanging out and, just showing up and showing out and showing that love, man, there's no way they would be as impressed as they were and be as interested as they are and currently are in renewing the partnership. So again, that's the big news. We are going to be renewing our partnership with Carolina Ale House, and again, watch parties for both basketball and baseball too, which will be really cool to do watch parties for baseball, because you guys know I'm a baseball guy, and for some of these road series, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. But either way, guys, again, appreciate you all, your love and support. Just wanted to share that good news with you. We're going to continue with Carolina Ale House, making Carolina Ale House the premier spot to watch the Gamecocks when they're on the road, or really watch the Gamecocks whatever your location is. Again, really excited for that. Like I said, just wanted to share that with you all. Again, we traveled all across the state to Fort Mill, as Austin Kane points out. Fort Mill was awesome, by the way. But we traveled to Fort Mill, Greenville, South Carolina, Somerville, South Carolina, of course, here in Columbia and Harbison. I know there's a location in Myrtle Beach as well I'd really like to get to, especially as it gets warmer. Selfishly, I'd love to make a weekend out of that. But no, man, appreciate y'all. Seriously, appreciate y'all. We had a blast over the football season. And, like I said, I just shot them my feedback, and, they expressed that they were really, really pleased with how things went, and you guys showing up and, showing support. And, it was obviously a fruitful endeavor. So here we go. We continue rolling into 2022, and, excited to do watch parties for basketball, baseball, the other spring sports, because like I said, we all love football, and it's obvious people are going to show up for football, but we also do love our basketball and our baseball and all our sports as Gamecock fans. So again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Again, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. I want to continue to hear from you. I saw someone ask earlier, when am I dropping my way too early 2022 predictions? Yes. So that will actually be Thursday's podcast. So if you go on Instagram, I've actually put up a story with the question box asking you guys your thoughts. What are your way too early 2022 predictions for Gamecocks football? Again, I will officially drop mine on Thursday. Very excited to do that. Again, with all the momentum, especially right now, it just keeps the chatter going, keeps the momentum going. Really, really fun stuff. By the way, guys, in case you missed it at the beginning, how do you like the hat? Feels good to be good. Feels good to be good here on a Tuesday. Again, 843-790-3377. Brian Dean points out 47 days away until first pitch. Things you just love to hear, my guy. Things you love to hear. Ryan W., thoughts on the baseball team this year? I think we will have a good squad. I think it'll be a little bit of a different squad than normal. I think we're going to play a lot more small ball, have barrel control, station-to-station baseball, but I think we'll be a lot more productive at the plate. My biggest question comes in the bullpen. I feel good about Sanders Bosnick 1-2 on the weekends. I think you're set there. But you're going to need guys to step up. You lost a lot in pitching. So, I think the Gamecocks, I wouldn't be, and I don't want to spoil, because I'm going to, we're going to break this thing down over the next month and a half or so until opening day gets here. But I wouldn't be shocked if the record is very similar, but I think you'll be a better team, if that makes sense. An overall more well-rounded team, a better team, a team that has much more of a capability to make a run deeper in postseason play than you did. So, again, we're going to dive into that much, much deeper over the next couple of weeks, next month and a half or so, as we count down the days to opening day. Like I said, guys, January the 18th is 1 month until opening day. So at that point, really that week, I'll start doing position unit previews for baseball. And then as we keep going throughout the weeks, we'll start to break down everything and really dive into the, dive into the baseball content. So Travis Lee says, please repeat those stats from 2020 to 2021 again for the secondary. I missed that. Yeah, it is crazy, right? 260 yards per game you surrendered in 2020. One of the worst in college football. One of the worst. Goes without saying. This year, guys, you finished up 8th nationally in pass defense. 8th nationally, 180.8 yards per game. I mean, literally an 80-yard per game improvement. That's proof's in the pudding. Proof's in the pudding. I mean, that's it. Proof's in the pudding. Brian Dean says, my early predictions, 8-4 for 2022. I feel like most fans, I feel like that's where a lot of Gamecock fans sit, is 8-4. Like I said, I will lock in my way too early predictions on Thursday. I haven't really sat down and dove into it, so I will be doing that obviously very soon. But I feel like that's where a lot of fans are sitting right now, is 8-4. Travis Lee says 15-0. Yeah. You would love to see it, my guy. Spencer Rattler leaving us to the promised land, leading us to the promised land, I should say. Brian Dean says, South Carolina 87, Auburn 76 is my pick tonight. Again, I'd love to see that as well. A top 10 win at CLA to kick off conference play. Man, you talk about some positive momentum within Gamecock athletics. The women's beat Mississippi State on Sunday. Football beats UNC in the Dukes Mayo Bowl. You imagine the Gamecocks beat a top 10 Auburn team to kick off SEC play? Man, talk about some positive momentum. Talk about it feeling good to be good. Jonathan Frew, what's up, my guy? Happy New Year to you as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Chick Nugget 2 says, I see South Carolina's going 9-3, beating either the Dogs or the Tigers. Would love it. Brian Dean, if Rattler's in the Heisman form, I can see 11-1 or 12-0. All right, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Man. I get it. We're riding high. Just beat UNC. 11-1 or 12-0. That's, I mean, let's pump the brakes a little bit, Brian. That's all I'm saying. Just a little bit. Adam Ritter says, I'm worried about the ladies on Thursday. Panic Ritter is in peak form, folks. Panic Ritter is in peak form. Ritter, when are you not worried about something or some team or just something going wrong? When are you not worried? So, anyways, guys, want to continue to hear from you. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Jonathan Frew says, why not beat the Dogs and Tigers? P-Dog says, because they're good. Again, Jonathan Frew, I'm not saying you can't beat them. Hey, here's a really intriguing storyline. Going into the 2022 Palmetto Bowl. For the first time since 2013, you have the better quarterback in the game. I mean, it's been forever since we could say that, and that matters. Having a guy like Spencer Rattler gives you a chance. But listen, I'm not spoiling my way too early predictions by saying this. Guys, saying this team's going to go 11-1 or 12-0 in 2022 is just pure madness. It is. I mean, South Carolina still has deficiencies. That there's still things that we need to fix. You still need to recruit. You still need to realistically have competitive depth, build on competitive depth, if you will. I mean, it's we've still got a ways to go. So, we're not quite there yet, man. P-Dog says, I think we got a better chance against A&M than Georgia and Clemson. See, I would agree. I mean, absolutely, I'd agree. At home, coming off the bye week, I do think this could be the year. That you get A&M. Believe it or not. Going out on a limb, I think this could be the year you get A&M. Maybe. They're going to be really good, but it does set up pretty well for you. Austin Greer says, I can't lie. My favorite TSUS podcasts are during baseball season. Austin, I appreciate that. No, I mean, I enjoy it, man. I really, I'm very passionate with what I do, no matter the season. I mean, I love Gamecocks athletics across the board. And I mean, certainly it's very easy to be passionate during football, right? Whether it be positive or negative because there's so much emotion involved. But, I really like to think that my passion for all Gamecock sports comes out in every show that we do and every piece of content we make, but certainly baseball. I mean, it's no secret. I'm a baseball guy. I love the game, played the game. Baseball season does hit different for me personally. I'll be totally honest with you. So I'd like to think that comes out. And, yeah, I mean, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is no disrespect to any other Gamecock content creator or any other media entity that covers South Carolina baseball, but there's nobody that covers it the way we do. I'm very confident in saying that. And, I really do feel like, listen, everybody can cover football. Anybody can talk football. And that's no disrespect or slight, but, everybody can talk football. But baseball season is where we separate ourselves. I mean, I just call it for what it is. That's where we truly separate ourselves. So I love the game. I love South Carolina baseball. I love being at the Yard. There's truly nothing better, man. There's truly nothing better. So I appreciate that love, and I can't wait for it. Trust me, I can't wait for opening day. It's just it's a different thing, man. It's its own. Gamecocks baseball is its own thing. It's a different vibe, and I love it. I truly do love it. Braddock 843 says, Chris, not sure if you caught my question earlier. What's the current total of returning starters? I don't know the exact number, Braddock. I mean, obviously, again, we've seen the last couple of days all these defensive guys that are coming back, which is fantastic news. I couldn't give you a set number right now, though. I would say let's wait till the dust settles in a few weeks, and then we can kind of look going in the spring ball. Okay, here's how many starters we have back on this side. Here's how many starters we have back. But, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, let's flip the question, Braddock. How many guys aren't coming back? Jabari Ellis is gone. J.J. Enigbari is gone. Jalen Foster is gone. So that's 3. On the offensive side, Nick Muse is gone. Kevin Harris, Zaquandre White. I mean, that's 7 guys, but you're returning a lot. And then you add your portal guys. Then you add, I guess if you want to say Jason Brown and Zeb Nolan too, they're not coming back, but you add your portal guys, you add Rattler, you add Stogner, you add this recruiting class that's certainly going to help you on the defensive side. I mean, without a doubt. So, you got a lot coming back. That's for sure. Drew Easterday says, I could see 9-3. I believe we lose to Georgia A&M, and either Tennessee or Arkansas. P-Doc says, Chris, how do you feel about us going to Gainesville next year and letting our nuts drag over the Gators? Look, I feel like you got a good shot to get them. I'm very curious to see what Florida is next year. Because, I think Napier's a good coach. I mean, they're still Florida, man. They got talent. They've got talent, no question. So, and you play them, let's see. Okay, you don't play them until late. Yeah, literally your third to last game, you're at Florida. So I will tell you, man, the one road trip, I love doing the watch parties at Carolina Ale House, but man, I tell you, the one road trip I'd love to make is that Vandy road trip. At Vandy, go to Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. Heard great things about Nashville. Never been to Nashville. Would love to make that road trip. But hey, business calls, duty calls, and we love the watch parties at Carolina Ale. So Carolina Titan says, did you see Des Kitchings is headed to Virginia to be the OC? Yeah, I did see that. Taylor Novinger says Gamecock baseball is where we expect to win. That's what makes it more special. Well, Taylor, I will say the thing that's really cool about Gamecocks baseball that no other sport at USC can say outside of Dawn Staley's women's basketball program, but of the big 3, men's basketball, football, baseball, the one thing they can say and that we can say as Gamecocks baseball fans that no other sport can say, realistically, I enter every season feeling like, you know what, if this goes right and this goes right, like we can actually compete for a championship. We've done it before. We've won national titles. We have championship level expectations. I really don't get these people. I've seen some people on social media, and it's not many. It's crazy already. People coming after Mark Kingston's head, and which is it's nuts. It's nuts. But I've seen people saying, "Oh, people just like Kingston because they've lowered their expectations." Who has lowered expectations for South Carolina baseball? Nobody's lowered expectations. Maybe, though, what people have started to realize is that it is very hard to get to Omaha. So setting expectations of, oh, we better go to Omaha every year, every coach in America would be fired. I mean, it's just every coach in America be fired, bro. It's so tough. For me, My expectations of Carolina baseball are this. As long as you're getting to the postseason every year and giving yourself an opportunity to get to Supers and get to Omaha, you're doing your job. You're doing your job. Hey, some years you're going to get to the regionals and lose. Some years you'll get there,
Robbie
go to the
Davis,
Super, some years
aka
won't.
Kirk Herbstreit.
All right, let's jump to
To
the phone lines here.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Robbie, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
To the people that think Kingston needs to be fired, okay? With all due respect, y'all, even though there's probably only a handful of you, with all due respect, y'all are crazy. Okay? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, okay? Getting to the top is hard enough, okay? Staying at the top is even harder. That is why you have not seen our baseball team win a national championship in the last 10 years. You understand where I'm coming from?
Oh, yeah. No, dude, trust me, I get it. And again, you had Ray Tanner step down, and, bro, Chad Holbrook was left. Listen, I know a lot of fans.
Who's probably going to go down as the best South Carolina baseball coach ever.
I mean, you could argue he's the best coach to ever grace any athletic field ever at the University of South Carolina. I could until Dawn Staley wins another national title, I can make that argument. And even if no disrespect, even if she does, I could make that argument. He's the best coach to ever coach in any sport at South Carolina. So, but yes, staying at the top is very hard. Rosters change. He stepped down.
Yeah.
And Chad Holbrook gets
You got seniors that graduate or underclassmen that leave to go to the draft.
Right.
I mean, changing your roster.
Chad Holbrook gets hell for, and I had him on the show. I mean, Coach Holbrook was awesome to me. And, he gets hell, but he was put in an impossible situation. It's like Ron Zook following up Steve Spurrier. It's like anybody who was going to follow up Spurrier at South Carolina. It's like whoever follows up Nick Saban. You never want to be the guy that follows the legend.
Right.
So,
Just like I quite possibly watched Big Ben play his last home game at Heinz Field last night. Whoever winds up being our starting QB next year and in the future has got some very big shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I mean, he didn't play great last night, but he completed like 20, like he threw the ball like 40 plus times and only completed like half of them. So
yeah,
he didn't play great. But
yeah, I got to be honest, Robbie. I'd be lying if I said I watched even 2 seconds of that game. But either way.
Well, I did because I'm a Steelers fan, so I watched every second of it. But anyways, like getting like me and my dad talked about this last night while watching the Steelers game. There will probably never be another quarterback like Tom Brady in the NFL.
I would say fact. I think he's the GOAT.
Because it took us a minute to figure out the math. Okay, so he's been to 10 Super Bowls and he lost and he won 7 of them. He lost 3 of them. The 3 that he lost was 2 to the Giants, and then 1 to the Eagles. Which that percentage of winning Super Bowls, I believe, would be what, 70 something.
Yeah, pretty damn high.
So Brady is the GOAT, okay? But anyway, that's beside the point. But anyway, so like obviously people knew whoever wound up taking the place of Ray Tanner on the diamond had big cleats to fill, okay? Because yes, it's happened a couple of times where college baseball teams won back-to-back national titles, okay? It's happened a couple of times. Oregon State did it. We did it. And
Southern Cal did it back in like the 70s or 80s or something like that. I think 70s.
And if I remember correctly, we're the last team, I think, in the last 10 years I think, to win a back-to-back national titles in baseball.
Mhm.
No one else has done it since we did it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, it's hard, and people forget that we also went to the final in 2012. That team is literally forgotten because we didn't win it all. So, you know, I mean,
like,
listen, I like
2010,
Kingston.
2011.
I like Kingston. You know, I know some people. You know, listen. The thing I love about Carolina baseball is this: Carolina baseball is not like Carolina basketball, and it ain't like Carolina football in the sense of. No, this is not like meant as disrespect as Frank Martin, but it's just true. It's year 10, and we've made one tournament. People were saying, oh, well, this excuse, that excuse. If you don't win at Carolina baseball, you're out. There ain't no excuses. There's no – if you don't win, it's not like football either where it's like you're winning 7 or 8 games. And no. If you're not going to Omaha in Carolina baseball, you're out.
Because you're winning 7 and 8 games, right?
You're out. So,
basically,
and Chad
like,
Holbrook made that point on the
baseball.
airwaves with me when he said, he's like, we averaged 40 wins a year. He said, I would say that equates about 8 or 9 wins a year in football. What he was trying to say was, we were pretty good. And if we were in football, they'd be celebrating us. But because it's Carolina baseball and we were winning national championships, hey, we're getting crushed. So, but it is what it is. You sign up for the pressure cooker. You sign up for that pressure cooker. So.
Right. And like you said, we went to the finals in 2010 and 2011 and won. Okay. And then the following year, after losing a lot of the players from the 2010 and 2011 teams, we wound up back in the finals in 2012. I can't remember who we played off the top of my head.
It was Arizona. It was Rob Refsnyder and the Arizona, what are they, the Bearcats, Wildcats, whatever. Arizona Wildcats, I think. So,
like, what people don't understand is just I consider the 2012 season a success. I mean, we made it to the finals. We made it to the finals. But for those 3 years, the stars aligned perfectly and stayed aligned for 3 years. Because we won 2 national titles in baseball, and then we got to the finals the following year. After losing a giant chunk of the 2010 and 2011 team.
Yeah. Facts.
Because one of my favorite players on the team in 2010 and 2011 was Scott Wingo. Whit Merrifield was one of them. I know he didn't win a national title, but Whit Merrifield did. Yeah,
he's the one that literally won the 2010 national title.
He hit the game winner in the first one.
Yes, he hit the game winner. Yes.
But Blake Cooper was one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Price was definitely. I love watching Price pitch. Good Lord. Mm-hmm. I remember watching him pitch in the finals in 2010 or 2011. He was the closer, I believe.
Yeah.
And he threw a pitch, and the ball wasn't even at the plate yet, and he started screaming. I was like, okay, if any of the opposing team's players got possibly locked in a closet with this guy, they probably wouldn't make it out alive. That was my thought, because as soon as he threw it, he screamed at the top of his lungs. I was like, okay, that dude kind of scares me a little bit. Because he was just crazy. He went out there, did his job, and got the job done. And I loved watching Michael Roth too. Michael Roth was one of them guys to where like he didn't have like the 95 mile an hour fastball. He was more of a control and location kind of pitcher. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I can't remember how he did it. But for like depending on like who was hitting, like if it was a right-hander or a left-hander. If it was a certain one, he would throw over the top, like normal. But if it was a different side, he would throw kind of sort of sidearm.
Yeah, if he was a lefty, he'd drop down and throw that sidearm. Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is actually clever. I was like, if I knew how to throw a decent pitch, I would try to do that myself. I'd probably screw up my arm in the process, but I would give it a shot. But the fact that he could do that is what made him such a great pitcher. And the way he did his location was crazy. And I just, like, people are, probably asking for Kingston's head. But, I mean, it's like I said, it's hard to get to the top, and it's even harder to stay there.
Yeah. No, for sure. We're headed in a good.
Other teams are going to try and knock you off.
Yeah, we're headed in a positive trajectory. I like Kingston. I mean, I got no reason to dislike Kingston. I think last year again we knew the issue. We didn't hit well enough, and that's why you brought in a bunch of new coaches. And I think we will swing it better. So yeah, I'm confident in the direction of the program. I think I thought we had a good year last year. I mean, were we Vandy or Mississippi State or anything like that? Right. No, but there's it's like you said, it's hard to get there. So we're building. We got really good players. We're building. We're getting back. But yeah, I think we're on a positive trajectory. By the way, Robbie, before I let you go, we want to cordially invite you one of these Wednesdays to come on out to Tin Roof. I know my guy Peyton Dawkins and Alyssa, they would love to. We pack 10 out, so you are cordially invited, my friend, for Tin Roof.
Well, here's the issue. Okay, my dad works. Right now, I'm not working because it's hard for me. It would be hard for me to get to work, and a lot of times my dad gets off by like 5 or 5:30. So if we can somehow figure, if I can talk my dad into figuring out a way to get there on a Wednesday,
mm-hmm.
and especially if I offer to give him gas, I'll probably be gung ho to do it.
Yeah, well, Peyton Dawkins says he will gladly scoop you, so we'll talk off air and get the address, and we'll get Peyton Dawkins to give you a ride.
Oh, okay. But anyway, yeah, like, but.
We're gonna come kidnap you, Robbie. That's what I'm trying to say.
Do what now?
So we're gonna come kidnap you and bring you to Tin Roof. That's what I'm trying to say. Peyton Dawkins specifically will come kidnap you and bring you to the roof.
I'll tell my dad later on. But by the way, Chris is planning on kidnapping me for at least a night.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, just for sure.
But I'm gonna finish with this. I think tonight, in order for us to have a chance at beating Auburn, I don't know how good Auburn is at basketball. They must be pretty good if they're ranked 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think if we, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I've told you this 1,000 times. If we can somehow establish the way we play the game this year, okay, for the way we've played the games this year, if we can somehow make them work for everything, okay? Because if I was Frank Martin, I'd be like, look, tonight, they're not coming in here and pushing us around on our home floor. We're going to make them earn everything, okay? Like, I don't care if you got to double team and box out somebody using 2 people. You make sure the only people that come down with a rebound on either side of the court has a white jersey on, or whatever color jersey we're wearing. I don't know, because sometimes we wear black jerseys, sometimes we wear red jerseys. I don't know. But I would like just make sure the only people that come down with rebounds tonight, it says Carolina on the jersey.
Facts. No, I agree.
Because if I would say this, and those of you that don't will be running next week in practice. Because I would tell them flat out, you don't play hard for me, because I'm going to coach hard for you. I'm gonna make you run the next time we have practice. Because you do the crime, you do the time.
Robbie, I think there's a chance you might be replacing Frank Martin soon. I think you might take his job. So.
Oh, I want to be a basketball coach. If I were to ever become a basketball coach in South Carolina, that's my dream job.
That's it. Robbie Davis for head coach. I'm calling it now. If we don't make the tournament this year, I'm officially elevating you to head coach. So. a.k.a. Robbie Martin.
All right,
Robbie Martin. So.
All right, man. You have a great rest of your day, okay?
Robbie, I appreciate it, my friend. Take care. Always a pleasure. What a call. What a call. Robbie Martin, next head basketball coach. Phil Harris. Per sources, yeah, it's a great time of year to have a guy, Phil. Always a great time of year to have a guy. Great time of year to have a guy. Robbie Davis, new basketball coach at South Carolina. Great stuff. Great stuff. Guys, hey, with that being said, we're going to jump into a break. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a breather. Coming back, I want to continue to hear from you, though. Your questions, your comments, and your calls. Everything on the game tonight. Also, of course, all the momentum around South Carolina football, all the dominoes that are falling for Shane Beamer, Clayton White, all across Gamecocks football, with all these guys announcing their return. Hey, who are you most excited to see back? If you had to pick one, is there one guy that you were like, man, I'm really glad he's coming back? Not that we're not excited to see them all back, but is there one specifically that you're most looking forward to, you think could make the biggest jump, I guess, in Shane Beamer's second season? So, again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk basketball. We'll talk much more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Here we go. Go ahead and jump to the phone lines. And we got spam calls here on a Tuesday. Either way, we are taking your questions, comments, calls, excuse me. Lance says he's personally going to get Robbie an ice cold bush latte. Yeah, we need Robbie at Tin Roof, Pack Tin Roof with Robbie Davis. Muschamp hackers are blowing up my phone today. James Kendall says, why did I think Cocky Neck Gator was Robbie? That is our guy, Lance. So, that's our guy, Lance. Let's see. Justin Langford says, beat the cheater, Bruce Pearl, and Auburn. Yeah, hey, big one tonight. Big one tonight at CLA. Top 10 matchup, as you see behind me. Pack CLA, if you can get there. Let's do the damn thing. I am really curious to see what the atmosphere is like. A Tuesday, 6:30 tip-off. Let's give them hell, man. I mean, why not? Why not? Let's give them hell. Again, it's a great opportunity for sure. And my biggest question is this, for one of my biggest questions, is just how good is this team? In case you missed it, by the way, John Rothstein reporting that Frank Martin, the Gamecocks will have their full team. So, hey, great night to be a shooter. Shoot. Great night to be a shooter, shoot. We'll see. Again, Auburn's a really, really good team. Got a fantastic roster. Bruce Pearl, one of the best college basketball coaches in the game. Going to be, I don't know, like this random number, this spam number keeps blowing me up. Want to talk about my car's extended warranty or whatever. P-Docs is COVID at me. yeah. Hopefully we're past the COVID stuff. Hopefully we're past it. Like I said, this team, per Frank Martin, we're going to be full 100% ready to go. I guess that includes Jermaine Kusnar, who was battling injury. So, we'll see what happens. Drew Easterday says, who's your potential breakout return player for next year? I would probably say Pickens. I think Pickens has the highest ceiling of any player who's returning. I mean, again, a former 5-star prospect. I think Pickens could certainly blow up for you. I'll tell you what, though, man, Jordan Strawn had a really sneaky good year. I didn't even realize 6 tackles for loss, 3 sacks for him. I think Strawn, he continues to put on weight. He's obviously got speed. Coming off the edge, could be the next, pretty big pass rusher for you. So I like Strawn's game a lot. I really do. I like Strawn's game a lot. But I think Pickens inside probably has the highest ceiling of any player. I think he's got the highest ceiling. But we'll see. Again, it's great to see, man. If you haven't, in case you missed it somehow, Jabari Ellis is headed to the draft, but guys like Zach Pickens, Jordan Strawn, Brad Johnson, all coming back. So a lot of guys that are coming back to Gamecocks football. And again, a lot of guys who want to be a part of what Shane Beamer is building. It's also been rumored that Josh Vann is going to return, which I think is, again, I will say this, guys. I think it's smart. I think it's smart for these guys to come back. Unless you're a surefire NFL guy, like why wouldn't you come back and play another year of college football? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? So, but great to see it. I mean, you absolutely love to see it. I think Jordan Strawn, Lance Player says Jordan Strawn's a sleeping giant. P-Doc says Sherrod Green breakout year. We really missed him at linebacker this year. There's no question. I mean, he may not be, an all-SEC guy. He may not be the best linebacker in the SEC or anything, but we missed Sherrod Green. There's no question. Definitely missed him in the run game. Let's see. Justin Langford says our boys are healthy, so let's put on a quality performance on the court and off the boards. Indeed. By the way, guys, quick reminder. We've been talking about Tin Roof tomorrow night. We'll be live at Tin Roof, 5 to 7 in the Vista, downtown Columbia. I'll be very, very excited to see you all there, and I'm very pleased to be joined, by the way, by the legend himself, former Gamecocks defensive line coach, Brad Lawing. Coach Lawing will join us. I'm going to try to get him out there around 5:45 or even 6 o'clock, because I know 5 o'clock is really early. I want to get him there on stage around 6, so you guys have time to get out there and hear from Coach Lawing his full thoughts on the 2021 season that was, looking ahead to 2022, the additions of Rattler and Stockner, everything from him. If you're not going to be there, if you cannot make it, which is totally fine, in case you missed it, in case you missed the podcast on Monday, some changes. The Tin Roof live streams will now be offered exclusively behind the Big Cock Club, the Big Cock Club Patreon, if you will. That is where you can see that live stream. If you miss that, that conversation and that interview will drop Thursday. It will be republished and repurposed on Thursday, also behind the Big Cock Club. So again, bottom line is this. If you cannot make it to Tin Roof in person on Wednesday, you got to join the Big Cock Club to get access to that full conversation. But we will have clips from that conversation dropping on Thursday all across social media. Again, just to give you guys the heads up on how we're operating moving forward. P-Doc says, why wasn't Dak at quarterback all along? Why was Zeb put ahead of Jason and Dak? You saw the difference in Zeb offense versus Dak in the bowl game. Well, speaking of Zeb against Jason Brown, I mean, Shane Beamer pointed out multiple times, I think Jason Brown just wasn't ready. I think Jason Brown just wasn't ready to play for South Carolina. And, P-Dog, that's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, again, I would ask you this. Do you trust the coaching staff or do you not? Do you trust the coaching staff or do you not? Because obviously, they didn't see anything from DeCarrion Joyner, at least. I'll say that made them think, okay, we should move this guy back to quarterback and give him snaps, and he's realistically battling for the job. Here's the thing, P-Dog, and everybody else, too, that asked that question. The plan was never for it to be. The plan was never for it to be Zeb Nolan against Jason Brown. It was meant to be Luke Doty. That's the thing. So that just threw a wrench in everything, right? And so the thought was never, oh, man, we should make Dak Joyner the full-time starting quarterback. The thought was always, hey, we're trying to get Luke Doty back healthy and get him back in there because he is QB1. So the quarterback room as a whole was just a complete mess. It was a complete mess. So, what happened in the bowl game with DeCarrion Joyner, it was awesome. It was great. I mean, it was a day out of a dream, truly. And his performance was out of a dream. 9 for 9 for 160, running for 60 yards. You couldn't have scripted it any better than how it played out. But if DeCarrion Joyner played quarterback, would that have happened on a week-in, week-out basis against SEC defenses who had film and could have game planned for it? I don't tend to think so. And I think that's why you didn't see it. Now, why didn't we see that earlier in the year? I don't know. But again, you had a month to game plan for North Carolina. Jason Brown opted out. And so, you had a couple of weeks to get ready, right? You had a couple of weeks to implement this. I just don't think, again, on a week-in, week-out basis. And I think, again, after spring ball, Luke Doty was QB1. You didn't feel the need to do that. I think they felt very confident with Luke Doty. I think they did. Again, guys, I know people love to just tear down Luke Doty and talk about how terrible he was and whatever. We all have our own opinions. But the bottom line is this. In what game did Luke Doty play in where he had any semblance of a run game to help him? In what game? None. There wasn't a single game he played in or started where we were able to run the ball effectively and help him out. What did we do against UNC? Well, we ran the ball well. We ran it very well. Now, we also threw it very well to start the game, but we ran it very well. The offensive line played well. In the game where Jason Brown against Florida looked, good and we won big, what happened? We ran the ball. Jason Brown didn't throw for 300 yards. We ran the ball. I mean, I guess, let's see. Let's go back to the final stats. And I think we certainly surpassed this. I believe we did. Looking back at the stats in the Dukes Mayo Bowl, right? Yes, we threw for 242 total yards. So we threw for over 200 yards. But when you look at the statistics, guys, for the 6th straight game, we did not have a single quarterback, throw for over 200 yards. So it isn't like we had a guy in DeCarrion Joyner who's going to throw for 400 sitting on the bench. Right? So, Keith Maltzberger, no, there wasn't a game where Luke Doty was healthy. Not 100%. Not 100%. And Aaron Thompson says, don't be surprised if Doty beats Rattler for the starting position. No, that's not going to happen. I mean, listen, I like Luke Doty, but Spencer Rattler is in another stratosphere, man. He just is. He just is. He's in another stratosphere. So, and Twan Love Kick says, I'm sorry, Chris, Doty is ass. I'll tell you this, Twan Love Kicks, fine, Doty's ass. Well, then what does that make Jason Brown, who was third string? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So we're just comparing. I'm just saying that I'm making the point that Luke Doty never got the support that some of the other guys did. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Luke Doty's an all-conference guy. I'm not saying he should be the quarterback to the Spencer Rattler. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is he never got that support. That's all I'm saying. How they want to proceed with Luke Doty? Yes, Aaron Thompson, Spencer Rattler's in another stratosphere. Yes, a totally different universe. They're not even comparable. Aaron, anybody who would argue different is off their rocker or just clinically insane. Spencer Rattler, the second he gets to Columbia and steps foot on campus, is the highest rated and best quarterback per recruiting rankings ever in the history of our school. In the history of our school. It's just not even close, man. Would anybody argue that? I mean, listen, again, coaches and players are going to promote competition, and they're going to promote iron sharpens iron. That's great. They should do that. But we have the luxury of, we can call it like it is, and we don't have to pretend. There's no competition. Spencer Rattler's the guy. He didn't come here to not be. We didn't celebrate Spencer Rattler's commitment because we thought, well, he's going to fight and be a good backup. Like, no, bro. Let me put it to you this way. There's a better chance Luke Doty is playing a different position than Spencer Rattler not being QB1. And Aaron Thompson says recruiting rankings mean nothing. I mean, I hear you, man. If you want to, cool. I mean, the guy was rated as like one of the top quarterbacks in the last decade. So, I mean, whatever. Recruiting rankings mean nothing, but I tell you what, Georgia and Alabama that are playing the national title, they sure got a shit ton of 5-stars on their roster. So it might mean nothing, but kind of means something. Jimmy's and Joe's do mean something. I'm not saying they mean everything. Sometimes you have a Jalen Foster who balls out as a former walk-in. So sometimes Stetson Bennett works out for Georgia. Sometimes, 2 and 3 stars become superstars. But are you going to really argue that Spencer Rattler he ain't worth a damn because recruiting? I mean, come on, man. That's they may not mean everything, but they don't mean nothing. They don't mean nothing. And I don't give a damn about recruiting rankings, whatever. Look at what he did at Oklahoma. And Aaron Thompson says Blake Mitchell was highly ranked, so was Garcia. So you want to make the argument about Garcia, dude, he took us to the SEC championship. So you're literally making my argument for me. We needed a quarterback like Steven Garcia to get us to the next level to go to the SEC title, and we did it. Garcia did not lack talent. When he was at USC, he lacked some common sense, and he'll tell you that straight up, and I know he wouldn't mind me saying that, but he didn't lack talent. I don't even know what the argument is anymore. Like, listen, whatever. Either way, Spencer Rattler, again, is in a totally different league than any other quarterback on our roster. Would anyone argue that? Really? I mean, would anyone argue? I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but sometimes you just gotta tip your cap. I mean, it ain't even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. I like Luke Doty a lot, but it's not even close. I'd almost guarantee you that anybody would argue different is just holding a personal grudge because they watched some stupid Netflix documentary and Spencer Rattler was a douchebag when he was 17. Like, bro, just get over it. He's our guy. He's our QB, and he's QB1. I promise you, we didn't make Rattler Beamer T-shirts or QB1 T-shirts because he's going to be the backup. I promise you. So, no, yeah, Spencer Rattler's a legitimate NFL guy. He's a legitimate NFL guy. And we ain't had a legitimate NFL guy in quite a while. I put it that way, quite a while. Quite a while. So, I feel like that was a very unnecessary and unneeded rant, if you will, but, yeah. Coach Forrest said, I agree, Jeff. Dak number 2, but lined up all over the field after then turned to Gunther or the 2. You mean Gauthier, I think. I think if there's any quarterback, you got to think somebody's going to transfer, right? I mean, do we think every quarterback is going to be on the roster? I don't think so. I think it probably will be Gauthier. I mean, dude, you couldn't even fight for snaps behind Zeb Nolan and Jason Brown. Like, he's going to get buried, man. He's going to get absolutely buried. Let's see, Leonard Matthews. That comment must be way back there, my guy. Oh, why do you think he went to the transfer portal? He wanted the starting position, not to be a bench warmer. I mean, no quarterback enters the portal looking to go somewhere where they're going to be number 2. So, Phil Harris says Garcia's worst enemy was professors' cars and kegs of Busch lattes. Indeed. P-Dog says stars don't matter, quote unquote, as their team's glory days were built on 5-star Clowney, 5-star Lattimore, 4-star Jeffrey, 4-star Gilmore, 4-star Cliff Matthews, 4-star Garcia, 4-star Mike Davis, etc. Yeah, I mean, again, stars aren't everything. Stars aren't everything, right? The big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And, they don't all have to be 4 and 5 stars, but you better have some of them. You better have some of them for sure. For sure. So, again, just because Spencer Rattler was a 5-star and was a top dude, like, doesn't mean he's going to come throw for 50 touchdowns and win the Heisman, but it just shows he has that ability. And again, there's just not a guy on our roster that is at that level. And it's no disrespect, but it's the truth. It's the truth. David Warren says Rattler's the guy. Doty, Bailey, and Davis are fighting for the backup spot. Also says probably redshirt one of the freshman quarterbacks, Joyner back to athlete. Yeah, I mean, I think certainly, man. I think, listen, if you could redshirt both Bailey and Davis, I think that's great. I mean, I think the ideal situation is, Rattler takes every competitive snap. He takes every competitive snap in the 2022 season. I mean, that's the ideal situation in my mind. I mean, that means he's balling out. That means he's healthy and he's balling out. So, P-Dog, as the couch spectator that I am, I personally would take all 5 and 4 stars over 3 stars, regardless of film. Well, I mean, I hear you. Again, I don't think stars are everything, but they they're a fair indication. They're a fair indication. The bigger part's development. The bigger part is development. So, the bigger part's development. Twan Love Kick said it's possible. What is possible? I mean, anything's possible, but what are you talking about specifically? Chick Nugget 2, do you think we could run a double quarterback system like we did against UNC? I don't think in the long run that's successful. I don't. If you have two quarterbacks, you have 0. Now, I mean, if you're talking about every now and then doing like a little wildcat thing where, I mean, you do allow him to throw. I'm not saying don't let him throw, but just switching out quarterbacks like every 3 or 4 plays, I don't think that's a recipe for success, man. You never get in a rhythm. Again, if you have 2 QBs, you have 0. The Carry-On Joyner, let's just say he's coming back because he loves being a Gamecock. I think he is. Let him be an athlete. Again, just let him purely be an athlete. He plays at receiver some plays. He plays at running back some plays. We run some trickeration with him under center at quarterback. Use him in a multitude of ways. I don't know that Dak Joyner fits one position. I think, P-Dog says it. I think Dak Joyner to running back does have some potential. I think it's very intriguing. But, I don't know that you can really put Dak Joyner in a box. You know what I mean? He has a skill set. He has athleticism. Just find him ways to get the ball. But, moving him just saying, oh, you're going to be a quarterback or you're going to be a receiver. Are you really getting the most out of him when you do that? I don't think you are. So, I don't think you are. Be very interesting to see how they handle him moving forward because, again, he's got a skill set. But I think you just have to handle it correctly. That's the thing. Again, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. The conversation is rocking and rolling here on a Tuesday. Love you guys' passion. Love you guys' energy. And feels good to be good, man. Feels good to be good. Great day to have a day. We're going to jump into a break really quickly. Again, guys, continuing to take your questions, your comments, your calls. On the other side of the break, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Keith chimes in. Rattler is surely better than what we have, but he did lose his job against lesser defenses than he will see in the SEC, and he will have a questionable offensive line. Well, I guess until proven otherwise, that offensive line is questionable. And I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges. But the first sentence is all you need to know. Rattler is surely better than what we have, period, end of story. So I think a guy like that gives you a chance to make plays. And again, it's been a long time since we had a signal caller that I really felt confident in on a week in, week out basis. I'll just say that. So, P-Dawg says Chris had it feel to break the B of A curse walking out the stadium. Felt great. Felt great, man. A magical day. I mean, just an absolutely magical day for sure. Felt great. So, Tony Sharp says Dak is like Debo. Maybe a little bit of an aggressive comparison. Maybe, but I like where your head's at in regards to how you should use him. I like where your head's at. Eric Reese, did Dak ever take punt return snaps? Maybe in practice. I didn't see it in games. Twan Love kicks. Spencer, winning the Heisman Trophy is possible. I love the offseason, man. I love the offseason. I just love it because all dreams and hopes are possible. I love it. That's genuinely why, honestly, the offseason, the preseason, it's one of my favorite times of year because hope and optimism and all of our dreams are possible. But hey, he's like the third best odds, I think, still, right? To win the Heisman. So, hey, Twan Love kicks. You never know, man. It's possible. It's possible. Justin says, Spencer, he's a one-year guy instead of negative. Let's be positive. Luke and Spencer both are dual quarterbacks. Luke can take a year of fully healing and learning, taking over next year with young talent at quarterback room. Again, iron sharpens iron. You can never have too many quarterbacks. Austin Greer, no, I'm hearing nothing about Joe Brady, my guy. I haven't heard a single word about Joe Brady. At this point, I'd be very surprised if there are any changes made at OC or really any offensive staff changes. I mean, I don't know, though. I mean, I don't know. If you got a guy, again, it's per sources season. It's a great time of year to have a guy. So I have heard nothing about Joe Brady. SC Football Tube, what's up, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Jimmy Mendio is Van 100% back. Not that I know of because he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything in regards to, like, officially. He hasn't, like, dropped a graphic or anything like that. So, it's expected, but nothing. It's not 100%, I would say. But I feel pretty damn confident it's happening. Daddy-O, the quarterback position is more important than some people give it credit for. It is the engine of the offense. Indeed. Now, facts. I mean, facts. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. Caden Gibson says, Austin, after what you said about the bowl game, nobody's trusting you. What did Austin say about the bowl game? I forgot. What did he say? I mean, listen, and everybody's got a source, everybody's got a guy, whatever. It is what it is. I don't know. Hey, nobody's. I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? I take everything I hear with a grain of salt. So I mean, listen, Austin's given me some good information before, but I don't know. Justin Lawson, does feel good to be good. My friend, feels good to be good. Justin says, Dak attack, multi-talented guy, can play several positions, and deadly in the Wildcat. If I got to box him into a position, I'm going to say running back, add a little weight and more muscle. Good speed, good small, speedy back. Oh, Caden Gibson says, apparently thought the game was going to get canceled because of COVID. Well, thank goodness it didn't. Thank goodness it didn't, right? Thank goodness it didn't. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. So like I mentioned, it is game day. Gamecocks taking on Auburn in a top 10 matchup at the CLA. I am locked in officially, and I will be dropping my graphic immediately following the Daily Crow. I am picking Auburn to win this ball game. I mean, it does. I'll tell you this. I do feel better about it in the sense that Frank Martin confirming that we're full go. We're full go, which is great news. Great to hear. I do think Auburn's just going to be too much for us. I think they're a really, really good basketball team. And, I think this team will play hard. I think it'll be close for a while. But I've got Auburn winning this game. What was my final? I had 79-68. 79-68. I think Auburn's a really good offensive team, averaging 80 points per game or so. I think it's going to be a really tough one, but again, on your home floor, if this team gets hot, I certainly could see it. I certainly could see it. But either way, I do have Auburn getting the W 79-68. So we'd love to hear from you all. How do you think the game's going to go? Yes, Paul Jones is a top 10 matchup because we're playing a top 10 team. You know what I meant, Paul. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You know, I haven't anointed someone a slapdick in quite a while. I think Gamecock fans, for the most part, we've been, you know, everybody's been very happy and positive. So, you know, let's keep it that way. Let's keep it. I know inevitably it'll happen again soon. I'll have to throw the slapdick card down at somebody, but let's just keep it rocking, keep it light, keep it loosey goosey, you know, whatever. Caden Gibson, what's the starting five tonight? If I had to guess, if everybody's back and healthy, I mean, I guess is Koos playing? I guess Koos is playing. Koos at the point. Our guy Stevie, shoot. Our guy Stevie will start. James Reese, Keyshawn, and Wilden Levesque. That's my five I'd go with. I think that's so. No, Paul Jones, you're fine. I didn't slap Nicky Paul. I'm just saying that it's been a while. It's been a while since I slap-dicked anybody. So let's see. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Like I said, in case you missed it, guys, Gamecocks are a 9.5-point underdog in this game. 9.5-point underdog going into this game. Taking your questions, your comments, and your calls. Like I said, what incredible momentum around Gamecocks football right now, man. It's wild. I mean, again, it is, you know, people talk about, oh, bowl games don't matter. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I would argue differently. I would argue differently because, you know, you look at the momentum for South Carolina football after that game. I mean, nationally, it's not just like within us. It's nationally. Like everyone is hyping up the Gamecocks. So it might be a little bit of a different offseason or preseason, if you will, this year for Carolina football. You know, last year, the years prior, it was all this doubt and negativity and turmoil, and this team's not going to be very good, this, that, whatever. I think we might actually have some preseason hype. So, yeah, John Kruger, yeah, your stickers have been shipped. These shirts should be shipping anytime now. So I would expect soon, my friend. I would expect soon. I can't give you an exact time, but I would expect very, very soon. So. Ryan Cothran says that was a big momentum swing. We still need a big wide receiver in the portal. I think we will. We're not done. Yeah, we're not done. I think we're going to add a couple more playmakers. I wouldn't be surprised if we add another offensive lineman or so. I will tell you this, though, about the offensive line, and I don't know how this would make people feel, but I think we're going to kind of roll with what we had this year. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of change on the O-line. So, you know, I don't think there's going to be a ton of change. I mean, I think those guys have just got to get better. Bottom line, it's got to get better. And I think we have. See, that's what sort of blows my mind. I think we have capable players up front. Eric Douglas is a good player. I think Dylan Wanham can be a good player. I mean, there's a couple of guys there that are certainly questionable, but there's talent up there. I mean, it really didn't make any sense how bad they were, to be honest with you. Mason Tyler says, where do you see Jaheim Bell lining up in the fall with the addition of Stogner? Possible move to receiver? Yes, absolutely. I've heard, you know, there's been a lot of smoke around that. Him moving to receiver, I think it makes total sense to move him to the outside. And again, the great thing about Jaheim Bell, he's a guy, again, kind of a Swiss Army knife type of player. He can play in multiple spots, but I think it makes a lot of sense to get him on the outside. And no matter where he's at, he's got to be a guy that touches the football, man, a lot. So he's got to touch the football a lot, no doubt. Phil Harris is Atkins and sat back for next year. I would be willing to go out on a limb and say that Satterfield will return. I don't think Atkins will be back. I mean, there's obviously been tons of rumors about his health, and so I don't think he'll be back. I don't think so. But I think Satterfield's back. We got a text here outside of Josh Van and the tight end group. Who can we count on to make plays in the passing game? Well, Jaheim Bell, certainly. I think you look at E.J. Jenkins. Could he do something for you? Dak Joyner back at receiver. You definitely need to add some receivers, though. Does Landon Sampson make an immediate impact? Does Kylik Horton make an immediate impact? Does some of the other young guys, you need to add, though. I think we need to add 2 to 3 more receivers in the portal. I do. You still need to add receivers, no doubt. We got a text here. Which freshman do you think will make the most immediate impact? I think Stone Blanton. I think he's a player from day one. Here's a question for you today. What happens when you face a rattler in the middle of a sandstorm? I don't know. Tell me. He didn't answer his own question. I have no idea. We got another question, or excuse me, another text here. I think South Carolina makes a push for the SEC East. They win every East game except for Georgia and come up just short of winning the East. See, man, again, that feels so aggressive. That feels so aggressive. I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm not obviously hoping for it or that it's impossible. That feels aggressive, man. I understand we just beat North Carolina. It's all fine and dandy, but that's aggressive. That's so you're saying we're going to go 7 in SEC East play, we're going to lose 1 game. Yeah, I mean, Phil points it out. Kentucky just won 10 games. Tennessee will be back with Hendon Hooker. I mean, Florida, I'm sure, is on the up and up with Billy Napier. So, I mean, it's hard. I mean, winning in the SEC is hard, man. Winning in the SEC is hard. Confirmed. Hard to win games in the SEC. Brandon Wagner says, I don't think Xavier Legette has reached his ceiling yet. That's another guy that could benefit from Spencer Rattler coming in, certainly. By the way, guys, somebody asked about this earlier and wanted to bring it up. Because somebody was asking about doing a Spencer Rattler Road to Glory on NCAA. Can confirm that will happen. I plan on doing that. Those streams are so much fun. I'm just trying to figure out when to fit it or how to fit it in the schedule, because I certainly don't want to overschedule myself. But was even thinking we could do it, like, what if we did a mashup of the Daily Crow and, like, on a Monday or on a Friday or whatever? It's like we did, like, NCAA football Mondays, where it's just like we play NCAA football on the Daily Crow. It's like I'll take questions while also playing the game. Does that make sense? Is that something that's feasible? I mean, or would you guys rather just have the Daily Crow? I don't know. I mean, I feel like that content's really fun. That content's very fun, actually. That content's very, very fun. I mean, I could literally just sit right here and play it. You know what I mean? Take questions just like this. So, I don't know. You guys let me know. I think that'd be a fun idea, especially when things slow down a little bit. And, we're just talking basketball. James Kendall says, I'd save it for summer. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. No, I hear you. That is certainly the slowest time of the year in regards to stuff happening on the field, and that's when you really need that content. So James makes a good point. But we'll have plenty of that NCAA football content over the summer, from, playing the season on Heisman, simulations, all that good stuff, man. It's always a blast. It's always a blast. So, yeah. So, anyways, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Let's see. Pete Hawk says, if UK beats Georgia next year, they're going to Atlanta. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I think Georgia's still the cream of the crop, man. I think Georgia's still the team to beat in the East for sure. Everybody's just looking up at them, and I don't think South Carolina is ready to challenge them. I will give my full way too early predictions for the season on Thursday's show, Thursday's podcast. So again, if you're on Instagram, be sure to check us out and go to the story. I would love to know how you guys think Gamecocks football is going to end up. Again, way too early predictions for 2022. Adam Mew says, who is kicking for us? Who is kicking for us next year? Great question. Probably Mitch Jeter, but that'll certainly be a competition. Phil says, daily weather report for New Hampshire, 18 degrees and sunny. Phil, that sounds terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You can have all of that. I want none of it. Keith says, do we expect Sandage to be ready? Again, this is the Big Cock Club Discord. Do we expect Sandage to be ready? Haven't heard anything on that situation. I mean, I would imagine so. I mean, the guy broke his leg, but I'd have to imagine he's close to getting back now. So, I'd have to, certainly he'll be back. Certainly he will be back. So, let's see. Phil says, episode 24 dropping of the Jacks Rangers show next Tuesday. Preseason's finally here. Attaboy. There you go. There you go. Cody Gaskin says, we have Georgia at home. Anything is possible. I would think that game would be primetime on CBS. I mean, I'll tell you this, Cody. Again, when you have a quarterback like Spencer Rattler, when you have a quarterback like Spencer Rattler, you got a chance, right? You got a chance in damn near every game you play. Because if that guy's feeling it, if he goes off, balls out, you got a chance. But, I mean, again, man, realistically, top to bottom, Georgia's playing for a national championship. Like, I mean, they're on a different level, right? They'll probably still be a 2-touchdown minimum under or favorite when they come to your place. You know what I mean? So, and again, I'm not saying it's not possible because, hey, that will probably be your right. That'll probably be a primetime game. That will probably be dude, imagine if you beat Arkansas. Imagine if you beat Arkansas and you go into that game 2-0. I mean, then who knows, right? Who knows? But Drape and Costa says, if we played during the regular season like we did against UNC for the Mayo Bowl, we'll be in perfect shape. That'll be our comeback to being dominant in the SEC again. Yeah, I just wish we played UNC's defense every week. I mean, to be totally honest, that would be great. P-Doc says, Chris, do you think the reason we were so healthy this year was because of practice philosophy or Luke Day? I think both. I think the philosophy was definitely improved. Not having stupid Sunday practices in full pads was beneficial. And I think Luke Day, you got to give credit, and Tip Your Cap did a fantastic job. Did an incredible job with our guys. So the injuries were nowhere near as rampant as they were in years past. So Beamer Ball 2.0. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, Beamer Ball. Appreciate you. Let's see. We got a text here. We got a Muschamp Hackers fighting us here on a Tuesday. We got a Are we good or no? Okay. We got in the world. Hold on. I'm going to fix this guy. Sometimes the Muschamp Hackers can't leave us alone. All right, maybe it's the Robbie Davis Hackers because he's the one that just texted me. Robbie Davis says, you already know my nickname and my prediction for tonight's game is South Carolina 75, Auburn 65. No Gamecocks, and to heck with that team in the upstate. Drape and Casso, what's your honest prediction for next year's football season? I will tell you on Thursday. Way too early predictions for the 2022 season coming on Thursday. So, Cody Gaskin says, if you're 2-0 and beat Arkansas as well, College game day would come to Cola. God, how awesome that would be, dude. God, I'd give anything to have game day back. Truly, that would be absolutely incredible, man. God, it'd be fun. It'd be absolutely incredible. Yeah, I know, Phil, the Muschamp Hackers are messing with us. We're good now, though. Muschamp Hackers are messing with us a little bit. We are good now. We are good now. P-Doc says, let's see. Arkansas doesn't scare me as much as it should. They're a good team. That's going to be a very tough game. That's going to be a very tough game. They're a really good team. Sam Pittman's done an incredible job. Draper Costa says, I also believe if Doty gets more development and an offensive line that blocks for him, he could possibly be more productive on the field. Well, again, I don't know when that's going to be because Spencer Rattler's the guy in 2022. Bottom line. Phil Harris says, 7 wins in the regular season is my expectation next year. Anything better than that, and I am thrilled. And, Phil, I think that's a very grounded take. I think that's a very grounded take. I think it is. I think that's a very realistic, grounded take. I think that's fair, honestly. Because that's going to be – it's so funny. I've gone from being the – people thought I was negative and toxic and pessimistic during the Muschamp days. And now I've sort of evolved and shifted to – number one, I just have hope and, excitement and optimism, around the program. I believe in what Shamer is building. But I do believe in setting realistic expectations. And I believe in injecting perspective. And I think people, it's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. So I think to set expectations at like 9-3 or anything greater than that, even with the additions, it just feels aggressive, man, because everybody else is getting better too. That's the only thing I can say. And at some point, yeah, you gotta, you've got to win a game you're not supposed to, and you got to break through and beat some of these bigger teams, and you got to go 9-3. I just don't know if it's going to be this year. I don't know. Either way, guys, we're taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I want to continue to hear from you. One final break here on this Tuesday. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we are back. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow, Tuesday, January the 4th, 2022. I want to continue to hear from you. Questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Let's see. Getting back to your questions. Phil says you have to be grounded with this program, otherwise you get your heart broken. That is spoken like a seasoned veteran Gamecock fan, and that's exactly what Phil is, ironically enough. P-Doc says, Beer Ball 2.0, you think we beat all of UK, Mizzou, Clemson, and at Arkansas? Yeah, again, man, like 9-3 or great. That just is so aggressive, dude. Leonard Matthews, the fact we're still talking about Gamecock football in January says a lot about what Shane Beamer's doing. Well, Leonard, when you win your last game, confirmed per sources, and this is confirmed, winning is fun. It's fun to daydream. That's kind of what we're doing, right? We're daydreaming about Gamecocks football when you win your last game. And that's exactly what Shane Beamer was talking about. Or not Shane Beamer, Steve Spurrier, when he said that, you know, what it does for your program to win the bowl game. It just makes everything better. Your outlook on everything in the preseason is better, and you know, workouts are better, spring ball is better, everything's better. So that's why we're talking Gamecocks football here today, man. But yeah, what Shane Beamer's doing, it's incredible, and you know, just the beginning. That's the great part. It's just the beginning. Jack Carrington said at Arkansas is the biggest game we have next year, in my opinion. Early chance to get a statement win against a program in a similar state as we are. 3:30 CBS sounds about right. Yeah, that will be a primetime game, I think, for sure. P-Doc says Arkansas is the biggest game next year and biggest measuring stick of the program. Jack Harrington says, week 2 as well. If we win that one, we could potentially be ranked and get media support. Helps recruiting and putting our program on the map. Brandon Wagner says, I'd be disappointed with a 7th win if that 7th win was because of a bowl game. I think our expectations for next year should be 7 regular season wins. Anything more is amazing. Anything less is a disappointment. We do have an insanely tough schedule next year, though. I think that's fair. Hey, if you win 7, let's say you win 7 and win the 8th in a bowl game, your program's still it's still a positive trajectory. That's the biggest thing. You just want to continue to make progress. That's the biggest thing. Because here's the difference. And again, I will drop my way too early predictions. On Thursday. I will. But if you go 7-5, let's just say you go 7-5, but teams like Georgia State, South Carolina State, Charlotte, and Vandy, you beat the living hell out of them. I mean, you score 40 a game in those games. Spencer Rattler obviously goes off. Like, if you could have a better season. You could not be that much better, but have a much better season in regards to productivity, entertainment value. I mean, you really could. So again, I will lock in my way too early predictions for 2022 on Thursday's show. I will do that. So, let's see. Brendan Wagner also says, when do we get A&M off the schedule? Never, because they're a permanent cross-divisional rival from the West. Brandon Kuhn says, Chris, we lose 3 starters off our D-line, but I still like our D-line next year. Our starters should be Birch, Pickens, Huntley, and Strong. Who are the other starters? I mean, we lose Enigbare. Oh, we lose Enigbare, Ellis. Who's the third one? Who's the third starter off the line? Who am I forgetting? Caden Gibson said, I think the measuring stick game is Tennessee because Beamer and Heupel will both be in year 2, and Beamer has his guy at QB. All those East games, man, are really important. So, let's see. Jack Harrington, yeah, we are actually adding contributors right now if I find some good ones that I like. So, the Spurs Up Show at gmail.com. If you're interested, shoot me over an email. The Spurs Up Show at gmail.com. Just send over an email. So, let's see. Justin Langford says, I'd rather play Mississippi State or Arkansas than A&M every year. I think, Justin, everybody would agree with you. Yeah, I think everybody would certainly agree with you. That's been a thorn in our side. Man, I think this could be the year, though. I think this could be the year where you get Texas A&M. You're coming off the bye week. You got them at home. Maybe. I mean, it'll still be tough. You'll still be an underdog. But this could be the year. Maybe, just maybe, you finally get that Aggie-sized monkey off your back. Cody Gaskins, do you think with the team we have going into next season, do you think we're a top 25 team and or so many questions coming out, I can't even keep up with them all. And or should we be ranked at least once next season? I think we will be ranked once next season. We're going to get a lot of preseason momentum, guys, going in the season. I mean, I think if we beat Georgia State, we might creep in the top 25, which we will beat Georgia State. Let's see. Oh, I forgot Sterling. Yeah, so Aaron Sterling's gone. I forgot about that. I did forget about that. I honestly did. Justin Langford, hopefully all that realigns with Texas and Oklahoma coming to the conference. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how that plays out. A new A&M quarterback, yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Ricky Coon says, want to go on a date? I'm flattered. The Daily Crow is, what is this, turning into The Bachelor? Wow. That's how you know the Daily Crow is growing. We have people, or we have, how do I put this? We have female viewers. The Daily Crow is on the up and up. To the moon. TDC to the moon. I'm flattered. I'll get back to you on that. Let's see. John Kruger, do you think Sean Elliott's going to get some kind of ovation? I mean, I guess. I mean, we all got a lot of love for Sean Elliott, but I don't think we're going to go out of our way and be like, here's Sean Elliott. Like, it is what it is. He's the head coach at Georgia State. We're going to kick their ass. It's all good. Aaron Gibson, Keenan Nelson will be the best freshman. I tend to believe so on the defensive side for sure. Jack Harrington says low-key was disappointed in E.J. Jenkins this year. Thought he'd be a bigger target. Glad to get him back. Do you see him doing more? Jack, I think the problem was this. I think fans set the expectations way too high for E.J. Jenkins. The fact of the matter is this. He played at the same school that Jason Brown did. He was an FCS wide receiver. So I think fans saw 6'7" and just totally got drunk off his height, just like a girl who gets with a 6'5" guy, but he's a complete douche like that. They're just blinded by the height, right? Like girls who are into height, like you're under 6 foot, they won't even talk to you. So yeah, I think fans got a little drunk off E.J. Jenkins' height and didn't think about everything else it takes to play wide receiver. So I think he could be a player, though. I think certainly, again, when you add a quarterback like a Spencer Rattler, when you add a guy like that, right? When you add a guy like that, it's going to make everybody around you better. So, Phil says, fans set expectations too high? Shocking. Per sources, Phil. They do. No, we love it. Listen, I love the hype. We love the hype. We love the expectations. And again, you're in an SEC school, man. You sign up to be in this pressure cooker, so it is what it is. Yes, we do love female viewers. We love all of our female viewers of the Spurs Up Show. It's always a pleasure, an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure when I learn that we have a female viewer or a girl that tunes into the podcast. I'm like, wow, this is that. Hey, that is much love. Much love from yours truly, for sure. Much love from yours truly. Let's see. W's in the chat. Brandon Coon says, I feel a lot better with Josh Van, Zach Pickens, RJ Roderick, Brad Johnson, Cam Smith, Spalding, and Sherrod Green all returning. Chris Fleming, we're still over the scholarship limit from what I can tell. Who do you think ends up leaving, Chris? I honestly have no idea. I thank goodness that that's Shane Beamer's job to worry about, because I'm not exactly sure, who leaves, who, what have you. Does somebody get cut? I don't know. How do they handle the roster? Yeah. So P-Dawk. I love how P-Dawk and Alyssa go back and forth in the chat because P-Dawk said that Alyssa likes 6'5" guys confirmed. Maybe Alyssa likes short kings. You never know, P-Dawk. Maybe Alyssa likes short kings. You never know. I mean, granted, I don't have to worry about that because I'm 6'2", for those who don't know. So I'm not really worried about the short king thing, but maybe Alyssa does like short kings, you know? So either way, we got off a little off topic a little bit. Caden Gibson, final question. Juju on swing passes, the EJ and Bell blocking out wide next year going to be tough to stop. Yeah, I will say that. EJ Jenkins did a lot of good things this year that has nothing to do with catching the football. Again, I think it's a positive to have him back. I think it's a positive to one spam call for old times to end it here on a Tuesday. Guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Again, game day at CLA. Get yourself out to Colonial Life Arena to support the Gamecocks as they take on the ninth-ranked Auburn Tigers. Hey, great night for an upset. Great night for an upset. Why not? Again, folks, check out the podcast, by the way, that dropped this morning, breaking down the game. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you're at CLA, say what's up. Yours truly will be there. But, again, until tomorrow, I'll leave you with this. Go Cox, beat Auburn, and we will talk to you